Once upon a time, in a small house in Gary, Indiana, a boy was born who would one day change the sound of music forever. His name was Michael Joseph Jackson. He came into the world on August 29, 1958, the eighth child in a large and humble family. Michael's father, Joseph Jackson, worked long hours at a steel mill. He was strict and demanding, but he saw something special in his children, especially in little Michael. At a very young age, Michael showed a rare gift, an incredible voice and a natural rhythm that made everyone stop and listen. When Michael was only 6 years old, he joined his brothers in a band that would soon be known as the Jackson 5. Together, they practiced endlessly, performing in local talent shows and small clubs. Michael stood out, not just because of his voice, but because of his presence. Even as a child, he could move an audience like few others could. In 1969, the Jackson 5 signed with Motown Records, one of the most famous music labels in America. Their first single, I Want You Back, became an instant hit. Soon followed ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. The world had discovered the child star with the big smile and even bigger talent. But Michael's dreams didn't stop there. As he grew older, he wanted to explore his own artistic vision. In 1979, he released his first major solo album, Off the Wall, produced by the legendary Quincy Jones. The album was a success, blending pop, funk, and soul. Yet, this was only the beginning. In 1982, Michael released an album that would change the world, Thriller. It became the best-selling album of all time, breaking every record in the book. Songs like Billie Jean, Beat It, and Thriller weren't just hits, they became part of history. His music videos turned into cinematic experiences, and when he performed the moonwalk for the first time, the world stood still. Through the 1980s, Michael Jackson was more than a star. He was a global phenomenon. They called him the King of Pop. His concerts were magical, his style iconic, and his message simple yet powerful. Love, unity, and peace. But behind the fame and the flashing lights, Michael was also a deeply sensitive soul. Fame came with a price, constant media attention, rumors, and personal struggles that would follow him for much of his life. Still, he never stopped giving. Michael donated millions of dollars to charity, supported children's hospitals, and spoke about healing the world through compassion and music. In the 1990s, he continued to release groundbreaking albums like Bad, Dangerous, and History. Each one carried his signature sound, emotional, powerful, and full of heart. Yet, in the years that followed, his life became more complicated. The man who had brought so much joy faced pain, isolation, and endless public scrutiny. Despite this, Michael always believed that music could make the world a better place. In 2009, after years away from the stage, he planned a massive comeback concert series called This Is It. Fans around the world waited with excitement, ready to see their idol once again. But tragically, the dream never came true. On June 25, 2009, Michael Jackson passed away suddenly at his home in Los Angeles. He was only 50 years old. The world mourned the loss of a legend, a man who gave his entire life to music. Millions of fans gathered, sang his songs, and cried for the artist who had touched their hearts. Though Michael Jackson is gone, his spirit lives on. His voice, his dance, his art, they continue to inspire new generations. He was more than a performer. He was a visionary, a humanitarian, and a symbol of creativity without limits. As his song once said, "If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change." Michael Jackson's journey reminds us that greatness is not only in fame or success, but in the power to move people, to inspire love, and to bring light to the world through art. Michael Jackson, the boy who dreamed big and became the king of pop.